Session review. Session review. Okay, perfect. All right, well, hopefully that actually caught your guys' attention because I don't think you guys ever watch these videos. But let's just jump into it. So we're doing a session review of session 38, the end of the very long and much awaited Hunters Captains meeting. This ended with a few additional conversations we had. So Bunny was given a heart by Allura. Bunny went up to Allura, tried to talk about their godly ways, wanted to learn a little bit more about the Council of the Gods, and Bunny was like, hey, Allura, how am I going to be able to talk to you in the future? And Allura gave Bunny a heart emblem, or a heart essential insignia that goes on their own heart, which holds Allura's net in it and can be used to contact Allura. Only Bunny has this privilege, however. Asta, as well, was being talked to with Inu, as Inu was really interested in understanding more of what was going on with Asta's affliction. Inu continuing his amazing storyline of being skeptical of demons, it urges Asta to not follow this demonic path, but instead that his arm is being afflicted by, but instead try to talk to Allura to potentially get it healed, which is definitely pushing Asta to a better way, as he was kind of feeling the energy of this grimoire he had found, the demonic power he was finding as being his one true path to having some kind of magical power and becoming different. But Inu's letting him know that the power is within himself. So this is great, because no one else tried to push Asta, even ask what was going on, or push him off this path. So great for Inu. I'd give you inspiration if I could. You already have it. Let alone do you need it with your luck die, but Diogen went to go and talk to the Wizard King and said once again, hey, I want to perform some music, and I want to make us be called the A-Team. He didn't say that, but he just said he wants to have a big musical show. He wants fireworks, the new color that he wants Heimerdinger to create. Whatever. He just thinks they got to reinvent themselves. And then finally, Cruel Wrench also was talking to Heimerdinger. Was talking to Heimerdinger. Essentially just asked Heimerdinger, hey, can you make Eldritch Blast better? Which isn't how you should go into the conversations, but Heimerdinger's like, well, if you meet me at my workshop, maybe we can find ways to, like, change Eldritch Blast in a way. But, if you go to the College of Summerhold, maybe that could happen. Who knows? Okay. Upgrades, potions, divine connections. So, at one point as well, in one of these conversations, I believe it was Inu that heard it. Actually, no, it was Cruel Wrench that was sitting at the table. Merlin starts talking about how he's going to be taking his ways to become probably the head potion creator in the College of Summerhold. And he, once again, the meme recurs, and he says he's going to make his strongest potions if they come. So, yes, ChatGPT's explanation is it's just whatever. Inu goes to get his dog armor, so he goes to meet with our wonderful people in the Wizardly Woods, the wonderful fairies that I know you all know and love. And he hangs out with them. He gets Mastioshi's armor, and Mastioshi also asks for a seat to be added to it. So the seats that will allow Toby to be on there will also be added to it. I know Inu thought that was coming from Heimerdinger, but Mastioshi wanted it done, so Heimerdinger might have a prototype later on. Buddy speaks with Toby about the Council of the Gods. This is kind of last time, but one thing I also want to bring up and better explain is that when Bunny is talking to Allura, Buddy talks to Toby, spends some time actually talking to their god with their time. So Toby essentially says they've loved what Bunny has been doing. They want Bunny to continue on their path, defeat Gorebelly, and continue that way, and that Bunny is, the only person left, but their faith is in Bunny to continue the Church of Toby. But also, Toby wants to point out that the necklace that Bunny holds now, due to the time spell that you all freed yourselves from, isn't the true necklace. The true necklace that Toby had is real. It was owned by Gibson and is still under the control of Tempest, although Tempest does not know how to use it. So Bunny can look to retrieve that necklace when Gibson is defeated and fully realize the power of what it means to be a child of Toby. as this is, the artifact passed along for years and years in the Toby faith. So super cool stuff. Um, on top of this, Elora, hit nudges to the team that, or to Bunny specifically, that they should all meet her at some point to meet their spiritual guardians. It's kind of her way to help as being the head priest. She's trying to find powerful hunters from around that have lived great lives and help them, develop or help them be connected to the team party members. And they want this can only happen if the team makes their way to Allura before the war starts. So I'd hope you weren't going to avoid it, but I'm more specifically saying at least go to Allura. If you're not going to do it, if you want to skip anything else, I would at least go to Allura. Finally, Diogen goes to talk to Thalos, where he kind of just I'm not gonna lie, all Diogen did was re-ask Thalos what he does. There wasn't too much re-getting in there. So Diogen, of course, Thalos is, a nerd. He's trying to keep the balance between the worlds and keep Wild Net out of people's hands. But who knows? Maybe I'll throw in that someone else is dealing with Wild Net and he tasks you guys to go deal with it. Not so sure. But at least for now, it seems like Diogen is pretty chill with the fact that Thalos just does his nerd shit. Cruel Wrench goes to speak with PepsiCo. PepsiCo essentially says that, you're doing great work. Love what you've been doing out there. So happy that you've passed the examination of the Hunters organization and that you're still faithful to me. I kind of revitalizes that Cruel Wrench is faithful to him, and then he's like, if you want to go find Gorebelly, which is something that Cruel Wrench brings up, you're gonna have to go to this area between Riften and the Manor, on the map specifically. This is where Gorebel is affixated right now, and Cruel Wrench has this information and plans to go to the team with it next session, but obviously you all can decide to not follow Cruel Wrench. I'm not saying that this information you have to trust is PepsiCo's true. So you can decide what you guys want to do next session. So, that's about all we have. So really excited to see next session. I'm really hoping we get down to Gorebelly. If you do go to Gorebelly, who is here, PepsiCo's not lying, you're going to have to go back to Riften. Diogen does have that amulet of planar walking, but you can actually only go to places you've been before, which would be Riften. So you're going to go see a few things about what happened there. It's going to be a fun session, reliving some old memories and getting ready to kill a demon. So super excited. Hope you guys are too. And see you guys on Thursday.